All right, welcome to Zambia. What a day. What a day, what a day, what a day. What a day. Okay, so my name is Chimweka, and we continue looking at stories, making news in the country, and what is getting people's attention, but also what is worth talking about, right? That's what we need to do. So coming up, what we'll be talking about? We'll be talking about, well. We'll be talking about a traditional healer who steams man to death during treatment. Imagine that. We'll be talking about the Electoral Commission of Zambia calling for heightened security ahead of the Mfue by-election, but also from Northwestern Province, residents of Kimasala in Solwezi district are calling for the establishment of a police post to curb rising crime in the area. Let's start with this story right here. So, Charlie Mukwita, who is a resident there, did tell Diamond Media that unknown assailants frequently attack residents crossing the Kimasala-Mushitala bridge, especially during early mornings and evenings. And Judith Chisanga also expressed concern, noting that women are particularly vulnerable to robbery and assault at the site. And they've appealed to the government to enhance security in the area by constructing a local police post. Let's take a look at this.
Constructed to connect the people of Kimasala and Mushtala to the central business district in Solwezi district, the Kimasala-Mushtala bridge in Solwezi is gradually becoming a dangerous crossing point for the residents of the two areas. Residents of Kimasala are now living in fear due to the increasing crime rate at the bridge.
It's the police to patrol this area. We've had a lot of deaths. Concerning a death that somebody has been looking after property, in my stay here, this is the first. Other deaths were found not in this manner, but all in all, I think I've witnessed 8 deaths.
According to them, the current neighborhood watch in the area is inadequate to curb criminal activities at this location. Women crossing the bridge and drawing water from the Solwezi River are also not spared from these criminal activities.
Ero muno mu bridge muri abana beso abengi sana bare chitefi ya kulokulondoka na usendo otumunani ulefu makunchito kukupoka ama phone bare tupoka.
Residents have appealed to the relevant authorities to construct a police post in the area to enhance security and curb these vices.
Echo turelomba ko fe kubuteko ko bati baturetele ko fe security ya ko bati dimbi pa fe na ka checkpoints like ka ba police ba fya mpepe ka container batubikira ko mpepe cause bridge ina ile toruntu amenshi mkimasala yari shupo mlando abengi tuisa mruchero palata balambo kusambo kuwasha mwatapa kwa amenshi nomba fine twalambo kumfomwenso twakulaika la shani.
The Kimasala-Mushtala Bridge was commissioned last year 2024 to decongest Solwezi Independence Road. However, the recent reports of criminal activities at the bridge underscore the urgent need for authorities to intervene quickly and address these issues. Mlenga Walia, Diamond News, Solwezi, Northwestern Province.
You can imagine what that's like, being in an area where you don't have a police post, you don't have a police center nearby. And when you have criminal activities taking place, it's difficult for you to even report them. I bet even for the same suspected criminals or the people involved in these crimes, they know this. They're like, hey, where are they going to go? You have no people to patrol around, so the safety levels are pretty bad. And, when you talk about a bridge, because even just here in Lusaka, if you look at areas where there's a bridge, I think now it's a bit better. But I think a couple of years ago, you find that this was a major problem. I remember people would talk about this with the flyover bridge at Zesco. I think that was a big problem, and I would know this because I've lived around that area, for some time. So these are things you'd hear, and you wouldn't be worried, like, hey, is this worth passing? Another place that has also been quite notorious in Lusaka, I think, has been the one by downtown, the bridge area. So it's like when there's just a bridge around, it's like it's a hub for criminal activities.
But I think in Lusaka it's different. That's where the most homeless people used to go chill. Like, so if you try to go there and then, like, imagine you don't have anything, it's like this person has some money.
So it's like a hub for them. So they chill, they sleep there.
They sleep there. It's like your nearest shelter and whatnot.
But it could be the same for these people. I mean, they target that. Maybe they're targeting the darkness around the area, and but sometimes some of these places you hear that even sometimes as early as 18.
There's like a lot of places that have got lack of security. It's at the certain point there's what they call by neighborhood. I don't know whether you've heard about that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like these are people. I don't know whether they're given power by the police. So what happens is, like at the farm, because we're like 10Ks, we used to be 10Ks away from anything. So if you've got something wrong, like if you found somebody stealing, you report them to what they call the neighborhood. And those are the people that investigate, arrest the person, and take them to the police.
Yeah, do like a citizen's arrest.
Yeah, a citizen's arrest. That's what usually happens, like in a lot of these rural areas.
So it's important also to have like these neighborhood watches and so on, and just being brothers keepers to ensure that we are safe around these areas. But I think it's very important that there's a police post nearby, and you get to appreciate the role and the presence of the police service when their proximity in your area is quite visible. So like recently I was about to move, and one of the things I've been looking at before I move is security. Well, there are certain places where I've seen very nice houses, like, oof, this is a very nice house, but I know I can never live there because I know security in some of these areas is bad. I think even as I speak, some people know what areas I'm talking about. It's just in the neighborhoods where security is really, really, like, you have to do quite a lot for you to be secure in those areas, because one day you get to your home and you find your stuff is gone, your TV is gone, your sofas, your fridge, cleaned out, nice. So I've been thinking about that, and I'm pretty happy where I live. Security I think is quite good. I'm happy about that. But what you also get to understand and get to appreciate more is now the role of the police and how they get to help out. So there's one particular area where I almost moved to, and one thing I know about that area. Okay, I'll mention it. PHI. I've noticed that. I've noticed that their security there is. They do like these patrols at night.
Yeah, my dad was once caught by those guys.
Who?
My dad.
How? That was a PHI.
Yeah. He was intoxicated and he dropped off his friend. But PHI is like a maze. So he kept on trying to find his way out and he can't. And it was like very late at night. So the car passed him like twice or three times.
Ah, yeah.
And like, why does this car keep on? Why do we keep on finding this car?
Yeah.
So they stopped him and like, why? And he had to be honest. Like, to be honest, I'm not I'm not sober right now. Can you help me get out? And they had to follow like the Land Cruiser out of PHI.
So they let him drive drunk?
Yes.
That's what they're literally admitting right now.
Hey, nobody knows his name.
Yeah, but also I've interesting because PHI is known for a lot of boarding houses.
Yeah. Be careful with the next thing you're about to say.
I'm just saying. It's known for a lot of boarding houses. So, and they do a lot of patrols. So I hear. So I hear. I hear there's a lot of patrols going on. So even the students who live around there know very well not to be out too late, because
The people patrolling.
the people patrolling, the police officers patrolling. So, not sure you need a police, because obviously I think there's Benny Mwinga there. So Benny Mwinga, I think most of the police officers move around, and I think they do a pretty commendable job. You'll probably, and that's the thing with the police. The police, you begin to hate them when you're on the other side of the law, and that's another thing about them. Sometimes they don't seem efficient until you're the one who's on the other side of the law. You feel like they don't work, but now when they're searching for you, all of a sudden, you feel like, how are they working now? So, police very important, and I think that's why that story also is quite important. Now, speaking of security, the Electoral Commission of Zambia has urged law enforcement agencies to prioritize preventive security measures ahead of the Mfuwe parliamentary by-election, which is scheduled for this week, actually, on Thursday, the 7th of August, 2025. So speaking during a security engagement meeting in Mununga area, Lavushimanda district, Muchinga province, ECZ Commissioner Vincent Mukanda has emphasized that the people of Mfuwe deserve a peaceful, free and fair election. Mr. Mukanda has since called on officers to uphold professionalism and impartiality, stressing that the police must safeguard the democratic process without political interference. And Muchinga Province Police Commanding Officer Dennis Mola has warned that no one should be allowed to interfere with voters or polling staff. Let's take a look at this.
All eyes are on Mfuwe constituency, where the Electoral Commission of Zambia is putting security at the heart of the electoral process. With just days left before the August 7th by-election, SZ officials have met with security wings here in Mununga at the Pentecostal Assemblies of God Church to stress the importance of preventive measures and a violent free vote.
So out of a vast array of police tasks in elections, I want to propose that preventive measures take center stage so that issues are nipped in the bud before they escalate. This will ensure the conduct of peaceful, free and fair elections in the Mfuwe constituency by-election.
Make sure that you work as a professional police officer. Don't disappoint the High Command in Lusaka. When you are deployed, make sure that you avoid alcohol. Because if you take alcohol when you are on duty, you know what it means in the civil service. It's the instant dismissal.
Go to the presiding officer, the assortment, the returning officer, the DO, that is an offense. No one is supposed to do that. No one is not even harassing. They are found harassing our post staff, our returning officers. Please quickly intervene, because that is an offense.
Later in the day, the Commission held a briefing with polling agents, media, monitors and observers, all critical players in ensuring that the electoral process remains transparent and credible.
It is my sincere hope that you will not be found wanting during the tour of your duties. Political party agents, the media, monitors and observers will be expected to be at the polling station to witness the opening, the counting and the closing and the tallying, including the announcements of the results.
I wish to inform you that as a district, we have not recorded any major violence. I wish to urge all the three political parties participating in this by-election to continue campaigning in a peaceful manner as we are drawing closer to the election.
The Mfuwe parliamentary by-election was necessitated following the conviction of incumbent Member of Parliament Maureen Mawonga for the offence of seditious practices by the Lusaka Magistrate Court. Amidst this cold weather, what awaits is August 7th poll day. Reporting for Diamond News in Lavushi Manda district of Muchinga province, I'm Best Jerry.
So, and I love the aspect of preventive security measures, because we know with politics sometimes people get too carried away and become violent. And then when people become violent, you find that a lot of political parties don't even take accountability. If members of the ruling party are the ones who are wrong, they rarely ever take accountability. If it's opposition, they rarely ever take accountability. In fact, what gets to happen is everyone starts a blame game. Everyone says it's this person. This one says it's that person. So it's just fingers being pointed at each other. And now you begin to wonder, then who's going to take accountability? Because clearly, sometimes you can even see the political parties involved. Oh, it's the ones who are wearing this color and the ones wearing this color who belong to this party and that party. But none of them will agree. Everyone will say, they're the ones who started this. No, they're the ones who... So there's really, and it doesn't give a good look, there's really need for security during times like this. But also just for people to conduct themselves correctly. I think that makes it easier. And we'll see how this by-election will go. I think the UPND have been scooping the last couple of by-elections. So let's see how this particular by-election will go, which was a seat that was previously held by a Patriotic Front member of parliament who lost her seat and also got incarcerated, who got jailed, that is, leading to her seat eventually being now up for a possible new member of parliament. So that's around the by-election coming up. Let's get to this unfortunate story, because a life has been lost. This is from Kawamba district. A 76-year-old man of Mufwaya village in Kawamba district has died after sustaining severe burns during a traditional healing session. The deceased, Danny Makanta, had recently been discharged from Mansa General Hospital, where he was receiving treatment for liver cancer. Upon returning home, his wife reportedly sought the services of a traditional healer in hopes of improving his condition. During the session, 54-year-old healer Lewis Mwila allegedly covered Makanta with a blanket while steaming him with boiling herbs. The treatment turned tragic when Makanta began screaming in pain after prolonged exposure to the heat. His condition quickly deteriorated and he was pronounced dead a few hours later. Let's take a look at this.
In the stillness of the night, a quiet stretch of Mufwaya village in Kawamba district carries sorrow. A village where tradition runs deep and where healing tends to heartbreak. This was home to the late Danny Makanta, a 76-year-old man battling liver complications and cancer for months. Seeking relief, his wife called for a traditional healer who administered a steaming process believed to cleanse illness. But the procedure took a tragic turn.
Our mother was the one who brought the witch doctor to perform the steaming ritual without informing any of us. We had no idea it was even happening.
Neighbors alleged that Makanta screamed he was burning. Yet the healer and his wife insisted the steaming continue.
He screamed that he was being burnt and he was removed immediately. Afterward, I gave him porridge. I would never intentionally harm my husband, the man I've lived with for so many years.
Shortly after, Makanta died, his body showing severe burns, a disturbing sight traumatizing mourners.
But the images speak for themselves. They show just how severe it was. He had been steamed for such a prolonged time that he sustained serious burns. From what I saw, He couldn't even take the porridge.
Bapile kumenso, if bapile pa milomo. Na pa milomo fya bapenga kupaingira porridge ishishibe.
At the funeral house, emotions ran high. Some say it was a failed healing. Others suspect foul play.
Yes, we do traditional steaming, but continuing the process even after someone cries out in pain, that goes beyond healing. That's intent to kill.
Police confirmed the arrest of the traditional healer who fled after the incident.
The police have since arrested the traditional healer and charged him for murder because he literally caused the death of the other person, which is homicide. And as police, we are mandated to deal with such cases. So we are taking the matter to National Prosecution Authority to study it, though we are still waiting for a postmortem report, which will be part of our evidence.
Amid grief, the family seeks no revenge, awaiting hospital postmortem results for clarity and peace. Kalombe Kapambwe, Damo News.
May his soul rest in peace. And you can imagine the stress of the wife and how she's feeling because you're trying to seek help for your husband and then this happens. Have you ever thought about like going to a traditional healer?
No, I'm very skeptical. I'm a skeptic. I don't believe in it.
You don't believe in what?
Traditional healing, witchcraft, blah, blah, blah. Maybe traditional healing because it's just herbs, but witchcraft and whatnot, no.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the traditional healer, like.
But I have done, I think, something like that during COVID. I think they call it futikida.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom used to make us do that every day, especially like because during COVID, everybody traveled to the farm. When you reach, no one was allowed to do anything. She said, "You take off your clothes." She boiled in hot water and like some duvet, and you get into it, and you've been there for like 5 minutes or something. I should have seen 5 minutes or less. I don't know. It was just.
And it helped, huh?
Well, it did something. I think it did help around that time because the mix was eucalyptus leaves and stuff. So it did help. I think your sinuses would be very clear after that and whatnot. I never ever got COVID, even though I did travel like a lot to Kasumbalesa and whatnot, but I never did get COVID.
So, I mean, very sad that life has been lost. And now, this is what obviously they were trying to avoid. A 76-year-old man here whose life has been lost and sustained severe burns. I think maybe that's what the difference was also with this because there's somebody getting burnt. Okay, so
what steam can actually do that to you? I think it was just maybe too hot oils under there for too long.
Perhaps.
The steam can burn, you can be burnt. You can have a 3rd-degree burn from steam.
Yeah, because there was the prolonged exposure to the heat. And this is a man who's, quite older in age. So you get to look at that and see how this goes. And, this is the aspect of receiving receiving treatment for liver cancer.
I don't know how that would have helped, to be honest. That's why I'm very skeptical about some of these things.
So they probably felt the hospital wasn't enough.
Enough, yeah. But then then what was in that for them to think that it had helped them?
We also live in a society where you have a number of people who really trust in like traditional, like the herbs. I have a lot of people who really believe in that.
Embarrassing me.
No, but I think I really do. I don't want to look down on people who do that.
I'm not looking. Trust me, I'm not looking down on.
Because you're saying they're embarrassing you. So what do you mean?
I'm just. I used the wrong word anyway.
But if you notice, this is quite.
It's a common
thing. And the reason why I'm saying that is, I won't lie. I remember the time I was not too well many years ago. Yeah, it's been a while. I was not too well, and of course I would get like medical attention, but I didn't feel like it was working. It doesn't feel like it was working. Then my mother explained this to my grandmother. Oh my goodness, what this? Oh, okay. And I don't know what she got, but like those like some, I can't even remember what it was, but it was something I had to eat. I had to eat that, and I started feeling better. I'd like put it in. I had to be eating like with porridge. And that's the thing. I don't even think. I think it's different from like witchcraft. I think it's completely different from witchcraft. Because I think witchcraft is just one thing, and then it's just like they get plants, like they get they use nature.
I get it.
Yeah.
I know it's like natural herbs and stuff.
Yes.
Because it's the same thing when people have got BP, they do that, the avocado leaves thing. That for the BP, or is it for blood or something?
Mm-hmm.
There's also guinea pigs.
Mm-hmm.
There's all those traditional methods of dealing with certain things, right? But you've been to the hospital, you know it's cancer. And there's very little that can be done about it.
And that's what the problem is, because so you're going to the hospital. So you can imagine for her situation, the scientific and the technical side is telling you, this is what the situation is, and you're seeing your loved one not doing too well. Maybe you're thinking, okay, maybe let's go to nature. Let's see what nature can do. We've tried the hospital way. Let's see what nature can do. I mean, if also, because again with science and so on, that's certain things that maybe a doctor would do, or would not do, and sometimes, like it's spiritual. If you believe in God, they just tell you like you just have to pray for this person, and sometimes you pray for that person, and maybe they recover. I mean, doesn't always happen. Let's be honest, it doesn't always happen. But some people get to recover. Some people get to maybe live longer than everyone had anticipated. I think there've been scenarios where certain situations have beat science. What science had predicted has gone beyond that, and those who are connected spiritually will connect it to the higher being. If you believe in Jehovah God, you believe it's Jehovah God. If it's Allah, if you call him Allah, or whatever you believe in. Even those who believe in, say, the ancestors, say Zambian traditional religion, they'll connect it to their supreme being, their higher being, and say this is why. So I guess that's another aspect of our African culture, especially our African culture, where a lot of us have a higher being we believe in. Others are also atheists and so on. And for example, the atheists will probably say, science has told you you've only got 2 months to live. So there's nothing else you can do. That's it. That's what it is. But then maybe others maybe the person lives 6 months,
I think to everything there's still like a science to it.
Yeah.
There's it's when you go the traditional way, it's sometimes very tricky because when you drink medicine, everything is done in 2 proportions.
Yeah.
But when you go the traditional way, more than once you're depending on your the ancestors will tell me this is enough. You never know what's enough. You never know how like the bridge between it being helping you and it being an overdose. And that's where my biggest problem is with it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because at least with the scientific side, there's been a lot of studies that have gone into that research. There's been a lot that has been tried and tested to do that. I know others also argue with. Some of them have also recovered. For example, some people have recovered from these natural herbs and so on. They've recovered. So I don't think we'll just woke up one day and say, randomly we'll just go for this particular plant. Maybe they've seen certain connections with people who've tried it before, and it's worked out for them. And they say, hey, you try this out, and others have been surviving. So it is what it is. All right. That's Zambia today for today.